Week 2 of the 40-day Miracle Manifestation Challenge. If you guys don't know what the Miracle Manifestation Challenge is, I highly suggest you watch week 1's video, which was posted a couple days ago. But I've been doing this for subtle and small radical shifts for like miracles and blessings. It's basically taking the power of everyday moments and turning them into miracles, because we don't realize that miracles are a natural process that just comes with being on earth. It comes with being alive, because everything that you look at can be a miracle, and it's all based on perception. And I've just been doing this challenge, small little things every single day, like setting an affirmation on my phone every hour, or meditating for a minute, and then I'll pair it with scripting or abundance walks or any manifestation tool to amplify my miracles and my blessings. And I've been receiving so many signs and synchronicities, which I talked about in part 1. So if you haven't watched that, then I highly recommend that you go watch it, because now we're on week 2, and y'all, this week was this week was challenging. I'm not gonna lie, like it really put me to the test, because week 2 is all about self. And if you've been watching my videos, or if you've been on my page for a little while, you guys know that I've struggled with like relationships, codependency, people pleasing, like you name it. I probably experienced it, and it's just a result of trauma. So I'm still working on building a better relationship with myself, and I also feel like this is part of the challenge when you're like creating a habit where your resistance starts coming in, your self-doubt starts coming in, because it takes 21 days to build a habit, if I'm correct, and we are already 2 weeks in, so I need another week, and that will be 21 days. So it's already in the process of becoming a habit, and I think in this zone is where things start getting more difficult. That's something that I honestly experienced when doing week 2. A lot of my trauma came up. I recognized a lot of self-sabotaging behaviors that I had, and so I think this was really like a good part of the challenge. And I love how it's structured as well, because the first part was all about identifying your fears, and then the second part is all about forgiving yourself and just really going within. Week 2 was all about a new self-perception, and I think this is beautiful because we create our realities, right? So it all begins with self, and like I said, she just has this challenge beautifully structured already. And then on top of the miracle manifestation, I genuinely have to sit down and make another video of all of the signs that I've been getting, because it's absolutely insane. I feel like my higher self has just taken over, and now I'm just doing the actions I need to do to get to my highest timeline. I'm becoming a different person. I'm trusting myself more. I'm more self-aware. I'm receiving more synchronicities from the universe, and it's just been really subtle that you can almost miss it, but it's been there. I see it. I've been receiving, and it's amazing. And so self-perception is really a key component to manifestation, because your self-concept is what basically allows people, places, and opportunities to come to you. If you view yourself as a person who's not enough or who lacks X, Y, and Z, then you're not going to attract anything that you want if it differs from how you perceive yourself, if that makes sense. So if you perceive yourself as not worthy, you're only going to attract experiences that signify that you're not worthy, because that is the law of attraction. What you are is what you attract. And so I was basically uncovering like all the patterns that I have within my ego. Day 8 was witness your self-inflicted fear. And in week 1, I told you guys that I made a list of my fears, and I was just like writing them down. This is something that I use in my Ascend method. First step to awakening or identifying anything is through self-awareness. And so I recommended to people that they write down their fears. If a fear comes up, write it down. You'll see me say this all the time on my channel. Write it down. Become self-aware of what you're thinking, feeling, and doing on a day-to-day basis. So some of the things that I wrote down during this challenge was, I don't believe in myself. I'm going to run out of good creative ideas. I'm not good enough. I'm not confident enough in my message. You will be alone. Nobody will understand you. I feel like I need to prove my point. Like, these are the things that were kind of like popping up throughout my day, and I recognized that when doing this challenge, there were things that started to like work out, and I started to align. I started to feel good. I started to maintain that feeling of being in the present moment and love and gratitude for myself and for others. And then opportunities just naturally started happening. I was led to certain places, and then I got this one opportunity, and as the guy was like telling me about the opportunity, in my head, my ego was like, you can't do this, or you're not confident enough, or you don't know enough, or what if you fail? Those were the thoughts that were coming up in my head, and it was just really interesting to witness the ego from an observer perspective and see how much you really are self-sabotaging yourself. Because I've been on the healing journey for a very long time. I've made a lot of mistakes. I've learned a lot of lessons, and I'm still like, nobody's ever going to be completely 100% healed, which is why I think this work is so important, because I still encounter these thoughts on a day-to-day basis. I still have an ego, and I will never proclaim that I don't have an ego or I'm just like this spiritually enlightened being. Like, I struggle, and I think coming on here and being vulnerable and sharing my fears will also help you guys open up to your fears. And if you've been following me along the challenge, make sure you comment down in the description and let me know like what fears came up when you were doing this challenge. What have you been noticing within yourself? Are there any toxic patterns that you know that you need to break or anything? So yeah, that was day 8. Day 9 was become willing to love yourself. And I remember I posted an Instagram reel. If you guys have been following the challenge on the Instagram, I've been live and interactive, so if you guys want more interaction, follow me on Instagram. And I remember I was talking about unconditional love, because that was something that I never got, and I realized that even in my like whole entire family, love was always conditional. It was, you do good, you please us, and you do whatever we want you to do, and then you will be loved. And if you don't, if you make a mistake, if you fuck up, then you're not worthy of our love anymore. It was kind of like that. At least that was the dynamic that I grew up in. And so I abandoned myself all the time. That was a huge pattern that I uncovered, which is amazing, y'all. Like, if you're going through the second week of this challenge and you're recognizing that you're actually having a lot of fears, or things are starting to pop up, or you may feel like you're going back and forth between being in a positive vibration or going back to your old self-sabotaging behaviors, this is good, because this means that like you are basically transitioning into the next vibration, into this loving new version of yourself instead of like the old version, right? Because literally, to become a different person, the old version of you has to die, like metaphorically speaking. So you're literally killing off this old version of yourself and becoming a new version, and this is the journey of becoming. And this is why it takes small daily actions on a consistent basis, because you're literally working with your fear, you're rewiring your nervous system, and you're becoming safe in your body to attract these miracles, to perceive miracles everywhere. When we're in survival mode, all we're doing is thinking about the past or the future. We're in our ego, mind is running rampant. And this challenge has honestly brought out a lot of my own patterns, and I have been struggling with going back and forth between being in a positive state and being in a negative state, or a state where I feel my ego is comfortable. And so this is huge. It's huge because it's just becoming aware. Awareness is half the battle, you guys. Once you're aware, then it's like you know what you're doing, you're more conscious, and you're able to make a different choice. So day 9, become willing to love yourself. Amazing. And again, these exercises are literally just morning reflection. So you usually have like a prayer, and then you have an affirmation. I set it on my phone hourly, so every hour on the hour it'll like ding, send me a notification, and then I'll repeat the affirmation. I'll usually pause, take a breath. This is present moment awareness. And then there's an evening exercise, which usually always consists of like a meditation or some type of journaling prompt. And then paired with my manifestation challenge, you either do scripting, which is writing out your desired reality as if it already exists, and then abundance walks, which is going on walks and pointing out everything that is abundant. Y'all can check out the challenge. It's going to be linked in the description. But paired with this, these are really easy and simple steps, and it can easily be like habit stacked over time. So if you go through 21 days and you're like, oh, I've done scripting, now I want to do this, or it's very flexible, very fluid, and it doesn't require much, which is why I love it. And then day 10 is I choose to love myself today. That was the affirmation, which was just splendid, because self-love is a journey, but it's also a choice. Like every single moment you have to choose to love yourself, you have to choose to put yourself first, and you have to choose that you are of value, you are worthy, and you are worthy of your time, you're worthy of respect, you're worthy of healthy boundaries, healthy relationships. And even just repeating this affirmation to yourself is huge, because honestly, y'all, let me know down in the comments how many of you tell yourself I love you every single day. Or at least how many of you tell yourself I love you just as much as you would tell a loved one I love you? Why is it so weird to look ourselves in the eyes and say I love you? Like, it's weird. We're with ourselves, right? We're born by ourselves and we leave this world by ourselves, but yet it's so uncomfortable and weird to look ourselves in the eyes and say I love you. Because our whole entire lives, we've been conditioned to look outside of ourselves, right? We seek our parents for approval. We seek the school for approval. And everybody, the system tells you, oh, your elders are right. Don't trust your own opinion. Go towards this. This is right. This is wrong. This is good. This is bad. And if you don't do this, then you're not going to be accepted. What is that? Conditional love. We're not taught to love ourselves. We're not taught to respect our own feelings, listen to our intuition. We're not taught to follow our dreams and be imaginative and creative. We actually are taught to suppress all of that. And so all of us are walking around with a bunch of masks because of the stories that we are told, which creates our ego. Do you understand how important this work is? Because you're literally letting go of the false self that you've created from survival mode and from conditioning, and you're stepping into your soul's purpose. You're stepping into who you were always meant to be. The person that you desire to become already exists because that's who you're meant to be. Your dream life exists and you're thinking about it and it's on your heart because that's something that you were supposed to do. There's a timeline where you are doing that. It's all about your series of choices. Like, we don't have a predetermined destiny. Your destiny is based off of how much you choose to grow, how much you choose to evolve, or how much you choose to stay stuck and stagnant and compliant. Like, we all have a choice, and a lot of us make the same choices every single day. And so this seems like something so insignificant, like, oh yeah, okay, I'm setting an affirmation on my phone, or I'm scripting my desired reality, but really you're sending out ripples into the quantum field that is able to easily attract that thing back to you. The longer you do this, the more it will become your state of being, so to the point where you're be able to attract miracles like that. You'll be able to manifest like that because you understand your power as a co-creator. Y'all, I'm rambling because this is like, I just love this. I love talking about this. I love teaching this. Like, this is something I'm super passionate about this, and y'all need to hop on the train, join the Divine Tribe. This challenge will always be here. These videos will always be here. So no matter who comes through and like finds these videos or starts this challenge, like, it will cause miracles for you. You will experience subtle shifts. You will start to receive signs and synchronicities, and your life will change in 40 days. My life has already changed and it's only been 2 weeks, because the change that we're talking about is not external yet. Like, we're planting the seeds and we're changing internally first to attract an external reality. So it's like, these changes, I can tell you, are profound. I can tell you are very insightful because it's happening within my own psyche. Like, it's happening within me. You can't see it, so you're gonna have to like take my word on it because a lot of the times we're not gonna be able to see the instant external results of the seeds that we're planting internally, but it will happen over time. You just need to be consistent. You need to be patient. Day 11 is self-gratitude, being grateful for yourself, because we're our worst enemies all the time. I still have negative thoughts and I try to still push myself to be a perfectionist even in my business. I'll still try to hustle and grind within my business, and I'll tend to overwork myself or push myself too hard to the point where I don't know how to have fun. I was literally just about to start a series on TikTok where I make a joy jar and I take something out and I go do something by myself every single day. Let me know down in the comments if y'all want that, because I genuinely don't know how to have fun. Like, I've been in survival mode this whole time, and so I feel like I'm just now allowing myself to create, and that involves like me not being so mean to myself, because not everything is going to be perfect. My inner child wants to express herself and I've just been suppressing that for so long. And so I wrote a couple of things about myself that I'm really grateful for. I can actually try to look for the page, and read it to you guys. Day 11, self-gratitude. As you can see, I have been doing the challenge too, you guys. I am grateful that I am putting in consistent action towards my business. Y'all see, even like, even the things that I'm grateful for about myself are still goal-oriented or involve me like putting in some sort of action. Like, that's what I've noticed. And then I said, I'm grateful for self-awareness around my behavior patterns. Again, that's me always thinking I need to heal or self-improve. Like, I'm grateful for my knowledge, my dedicated effort, and perspective. Like, I'm just noticing this real time. Like, everything I'm grateful for about myself involves me doing something. Like, my value is inherent, like, no matter what I do. And so the things that I'm grateful for about myself need to be qualities that like aren't doesn't involve me doing something. Like my generosity or my open heart. Like, I'm really grateful that I have a loving heart and my heart didn't close after I experienced so much trauma. Or like, I'm grateful for the fact that I'm so resilient. Like, no matter what I can do, I can always turn my pain into power. Okay, not us doing shadow work real time, but yeah, that's what I wrote down. And then see, y'all, this is even y'all see how subtle that was? Like, that was so subtle you probably wouldn't even noticed it, but like instantly by doing this work, like it clicked in my head as I just said that like, oh, this is a pattern. Like, this is huge. And then day 12 is the F word, which is forgiveness. So forgiving yourself for your past, not condemning yourself for past mistakes. This was also huge for me, and we were actually guided to write a letter of forgiveness to ourselves, which I did do. And then day 13 is go big and expect miracles. And the affirmation for this one was, today I commit to miraculous shifts. Forgiveness will be my guide. And then, yeah, now we're on day 14. And the last day is always like reflect and prepare. So basically I reflect, which is me making this video, and then I prepare by reading the passage for next week. And as always, I will be posting polls every single week. I post the book, I post anything that I learned from it, and I just make sure that I'm always staying updated on my Instagram. So if you guys are following this challenge, make sure you follow my Instagram because that's interactive. I'd be asking you guys questions. I'd be posting my insights on there as well. And then on YouTube, I will post a video every single week that I'm doing this challenge all the way until the very end. And I can't wait to see how many of you guys are joining me and how many shifts that you make. So if you're doing this challenge and you've experienced any shifts, even if it's like internal or you've been seeing signs and synchronicities, make sure to let us know down in the comments. Let the Divine Tribe know you are not alone in this challenge. And I also want to send a huge thank you to everyone who's doing this challenge, because it's not about just attracting your dream life. It's so much bigger than that. You are contributing to the evolution of humanity. You don't realize that you doing the work on yourself, or even having the willingness to look at your patterns and change yourself, that is sending ripples, like I said before, out into the quantum field, and you're literally allowing your light to shine. You're becoming a co-creator, and you're helping so many people without them even realizing it, because we are all connected. So what you do for yourself, you also do for another person. And we're shifting into this 5D consciousness, which is all about love and unity and connectedness. And this is the new earth that we're talking about. If you guys are not familiar with the new earth concept, or what everybody's talking about with this like paradigm shift, I highly recommend you go check out my TikTok. I've been posting videos about it, and I can also make another YouTube video. But we're shifting into a whole different timeline, and this is going to really boost more healers, more visionaries, more truth seekers, chosen ones, star seeds, light workers. All of you, all of us are going to be, I feel like, the new leaders of this new vibration, because we're going to be the examples. Honestly, you don't even have to identify with that. Anyone who is doing the inner work is going to be an example for everyone who's still in the old paradigm, which is just operating in the frequency of lack, limitation, and suffering. Like, we're doing the work, liberating ourselves so we can liberate other people. So I want to thank you for putting in this work, because it's so, so, so important, especially with everything going on right now. And this is the internal revolution, you guys, because once you change yourself, you change the world. So yeah, thank you, and I will see you guys next week.